you know, more things become justified the more a democracy is taken away from you, right? Obviously. Your behavior is contingent on Trump. That's a stupid response.
All right,
See, reasonable point from Destiny, but it just gets lost because he can't bring himself to just say violence bad. Oh, I'm really mad about something happening to me, so I get to do whatever I want. No, actually. No.
To debate...
I mean, college might even be a little old. College might even be getting a little old for Destiny sometimes. Well, where is it? Where is it? Let's see it. 10 toes down on Piers Morgan. Let's see it. Do you support violence? So, guys, as you hopefully know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated a few days ago, and Destiny has been going totally insane over it, calling for, well, really he's going insane over the right-wing response to it. Because obviously everyone's calling for war, saying they want retribution. And Destiny, in response to this, has started saying we need to adopt a tit-for-tat mentality. People need to be ready to fight, basically. He's walked totally up to the line of just calling for violence and like terrorist attacks on right-wingers without actually saying it. Then when someone presses him, he goes, oh, don't Fed post. Don't Fed post. It's very cringe. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing to ever do something like this. Like, at this point, Destiny is totally alienating himself from pretty much any civil conversation. So, if he truly believes what he's saying, he needs to be organizing a militia. Like, less canvassing, more like firing range. You know? If he truly believes that's the point he's at, that's the point the country's at, then that's what he should be doing. But he's not. He's sitting in his apartment, crying, bitching, screaming on the internet that conservatives need to be scared, hoping that someone else does it, I guess. Which is just totally embarrassing. It's just like totally shameful. I hate the LARPing. I hate the calling for violence. If you're not gonna, you know, pull up. Ultimately, you know, every right-winger, everything, obviously J6, great example is, believes that ultimately at some point, when your country is at a certain point of far gone, you may need to take up arms. It's the whole point of having the Second Amendment. And if Destiny's saying he's at that point, it's sort of, when is the, you know, when you're going to hit the ground running, you know? It's a lot of, whoa, everything's so terrible, it's all over, but no movement. Which just doesn't make any sense if you truly believe that. Red flag laws seems like a good use of the law. I don't think so. I would say his threat to against other creators like myself are actually a better use of those laws. I don't think this is a good use of those laws. The point of the Second Amendment, is it not written in that it's like, you know, state militias or whatever? There's that second, like, less cited part of the Second Amendment that's about militias, forming militias or whatever. So I don't think it's a good use of red flag laws. I thought that would be unconstitutional based on my very slight understanding of this topic. My very tiny understanding. I feel like just Destiny talking about the idea that we might be at the point, yeah, well-regulated militia, thank you. But we might be at the point, or America might be at the point where that would be justified. I feel like because like him saying that, I don't think that's good enough for a red flag law, because that would it seems running contravention of the sort of the point of the Second Amendment. But again, I'm sure constitutional scholars have like different views on that. It's just my very layman, very unresearched reading of that. Makes me lean towards the idea that you should be able to talk about whether you're at the point violence is necessary yet without having your guns taken away, because that would sort of fly in the face of the point of the amendment. I goes all of Destiny's speech right now. Obviously, I think he's being completely deranged, but I mean, I don't think he should be in prison for the stuff he's saying. I think maybe he should be in prison for other things. I don't think he should be in prison for this, though. And there's a whole lot of right-wingers that are just jumping at that. I saw some absolute fucking loser who, I think it's the Connor Tomlinson guy, I think, who got, like, totally, fucking, just, like, mopped on a Tim Pool by Pisco the other day. Was, like, saying that Destiny should be locked up. Totally embarrassing, totally shameful. Anyone calling for that sort of shit is just totally spagging out. But yeah, we're going to take a look at this Piers Morgan panel, where Destiny's appeared today to face down Andrew Wilson, Ana Kasparian, and Jack Posobiec. So as much as Destiny's being completely fucking deranged, I fear that perhaps somehow there will be moments where The other members of this panel are even more unbearable, which is unfortunate. Let's take a look.
And being able to listen to each other's opinions, which seems to me completely insane. Anyway, we've lost Cornel West for now. Maybe we'll get him back. Well, Andrew Wilson referred to Destiny's insane tweets a little earlier, which were disavowed by Anna Kasparin. Well, Destiny joins us now. Destiny, you've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags a half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every Conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. Do you think that your response to the cold-blooded
she tagged
murder
him tweet was kind of amusing? The she tagged him tweet, that's kind of amusing. The other two were not that funny.
of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives...
I didn't get the tag thing. Well, it's like... What? It's like he's dead and you're tagging his social media account. Like, he's not online, bro.
Conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side.
And then my queen just rolled her eyes. I know what to think now. Guys, I fear... I've seen one clip. I've seen one clip of this, and people are going to love Anna on this panel. I fear.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
white
dude.
described...
He wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear... The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
Yesterday, he said that.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know. What you just said is not true. The very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear.
Very reasonable sound. Like Piers is, dude. It's so annoying how people operate because there is not, like, obviously you can make a reasonable inference that this guy's probably like a lefty, a lib, whatever. There is not like good evidence about his ideology that I've seen that's like you can see what this guy thought or what media he was consuming or like what sort of radical ideas he thought. Like that, I haven't seen any of that shown whatsoever. So the idea that you're just like, oh, well, the governor of Utah said he was radicalized by leftist ideology, so that's a given. It's like, well, no, you should probably wait for the evidence and see if you come to that determination yourself. You know? Just immediately jumping in with, oh, well, the governor said it, so it must be true. It's like, well, that's pretty retarded, isn't it? It's pretty dumb. What if you say it's a radical leftist ideology, but then all this guy consumes is like Brian Tyler Cohen, Midas Touch, Pod Save America. Like, what if this is that guy, right? That's all he consumes. You're gonna say that's a radical leftist ideology, really?
That he hasn't made it clear. May not want to hear this.
An ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny. But the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's just not true.
Let me just ask you.
There's no way to deal with it.
Okay,
you're living in a
accusing the governor of lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
sure.
If it turns out to have been somebody
Anna looks very tense. Anna is totally seething. Just like staring Destiny down right now. Just like totally wants to kill this guy.
ideology who wanted to shut up
awesome.
Charlie Kirk.
It's awesome.
Would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
The
you
fact
won't
that he
condemn
can go
the
on
murder of
Fox and
Charlie
Friends-
Kirk
I'm
until
just-
Donald Trump says
Here's-
something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why
tell
would you
his
expect
side to
anybody,
calm down?
Destiny?
You
What-
can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why
Okay,
can't
can
Trump
you
go on
answer
TV
this
and say,
question?
all of us should be less violent?
Why do you
can't
think-
Trump say that?
why do you
Why
think-
can't
Your
Trump say
behavior
that? I feel
contingent
I'm
on Donald Trump?
insane right now.
Why do you
is
think?
your
No, let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me
Why
ask
is
a
that? Because
question.
he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the
Yeah,
opposing
Destiny,
political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
just.
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber.
everything you
Okay, Anna is not doing a good job of replying to that. Anna's not doing a good job of replying to that. Obviously, your behavior is somewhat contingent on Donald Trump. That is obviously the case. If Donald Trump, like, more things become justified, the more a democracy is taken away from you, right? Obviously, your behavior is contingent on Trump. That's a stupid response.
have to
Who
say.
has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him?
doesn't
Who
matter.
has
You have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience,
matter.
and because
This
of
is
the
the
fact that
world
you have a
I'm
huge
living in,
audience,
and
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility
broken by
to
online
not turn.
rhetoric.
No,
And
it
your
hasn't.
brain
It
has
hasn't been
been
broken. I
destroyed
actually care
because
about the
people
country
bullied you on
and want to bring
Twitter.
people together.
If
You
you've
do
been-
the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to tell
represent the
people
worst
to
of us,
be
Destiny.
less
You're
violent.
embarrassing.
You should tell
You're
Donald.
embarrassing.
All right, let me ask
Watch how
Destiny
easy
a
this is.
question.
Watch how easy this
No,
is.
hang on.
If
Don't
Donald
Oh
shout
my
at
God.
once, please.
If Donald Trump would have come out and
Destiny,
said, "Hey, we should all be less violent,"
Destiny,
I have no problem saying.
I have one
absolutely.
question for you,
Why
Destiny.
can't conservatives do that? Why can't
Destiny,
conservatives do that?
Destiny, I have a question for you. Why do you think, in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side, why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
Well, he's not.
You can't
He said
turn
he's
down
not.
the temperature on your own. The president of the United
You
States is
inflame the
not
temperature.
able
You're
to-
mocking
No,
his
it's
widow.
already inflamed.
You're
What are you
mocking his
talking
widow.
about? We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean? It's turning up the temperature.
Why did you
to
mock his
somebody
widow?
Online
Ever.
because
Why
she's
did you
being
mock his
wielded
widow?
as because she's being used as a
That's
political
on that triple dose of violence for this one, for real.
weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives
Blood
to
is
continue.
shaking.
They're
Blood
what
is
do you mean?
jittering.
Wow, she's literally doing
Her husband
recruitment
just got
ads
murdered.
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You
The
won't condemn
president
it.
can't even tell his side
You're
to
so
turn the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump that you
are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such
because
a
you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit here
Trump
and
to say
make money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in.
to
Let me
me
bring
that
in Jack.
Republicans can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in. Let me bring in.
So this is like the absolute failure of Destiny's messaging here, isn't it? Like it's just baseline to just at least say, yeah, violence is bad. Yeah, political violence is bad. This is a complete failure because when you won't just cede that, they will always stick on it. It's like this guy said the same shit about any of these pro-Pally people with Hamas. Like they all do this shit, right? They all say this about the pro-Pally people with Hamas. Is the idea that you're going to sit there and be like, no, I'm not condemning. I'm not condemning. I'm not condemning. So yeah, nice one. They've made the whole fucking conversation about your condemnation. Like even Hassan understands this better than Destiny does. Hassan will say, yeah, I don't want to cede the ground on condemning stuff. But there are some conversations where if you don't just give them that little bit, the whole conversation becomes about the fact you won't condemn. And you never get to talk about what actually matters. So there are limited circumstances where you should just cede the ground and go, yeah, obviously that's bad. But, yeah, obviously that's bad. Let's talk about what I want to talk about. But Destiny can't even do that. He's like literally like total pure rage cow, blind. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about messaging anymore. It's all just about like lashing out, feeling his spite justified. You know, that's all it is now. So, nothing good coming from this.
In
What a
Jack
joke of a
Posobiec.
world.
I gotta
And
say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say,
Which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say, we all need to turn it down?
Fine.
Like Biden could, like Obama could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could. Why
Fine.
not?
Why can't you condemn the murder
See,
of Charlie
it's
Kirk?
unbelievable. I'm not the president
Why
of the United
can't
States.
you
can't answer that
condemn
question.
the
It's
murder of Charlie
unbelievable.
Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should
Yes,
be the
it
one
was.
that is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric.
was your side that caused it. It was your side.
This guy was raised in a white
He
Christian
was a
household,
radicalized
in a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like
investigators
the one that killed
are
Melissa
saying.
was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was.
See, like saying it wasn't my side that caused it. Like, he needs to be more careful with his wording. Obviously, it's so easy to reply, well, yeah, it was. It was one of you that did it. And that works on most people. That response works on most people. You can say something like, it isn't my side that got us to this point in the country. That might work. But saying it wasn't my side that did it after someone that pretty, you know, we can reasonably assume they're left-leaning at the least, just shot someone, it's like, it's going to fall on deaf ears, because obviously most people are going to take a pretty basic view of responsibility here, be like, okay, the responsibility for the shooting falls upon the shooter. What was the ideology of the shooter? They were left-leaning. Therefore, left-leaning did this. Obviously, that's the way most people are going to see this, right? So the idea that you just turn around and go, oh, it wasn't my side that caused it. No, that's not going to work on most people. That's not going to work on most people at all, obviously.
Was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were conservative, just like the Proud Boys were conservative. Every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what, the author of Unhuman, another person that Charlie supported. Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Yes, you are acting like an unhuman.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump condemn violence in this
all
country?
right, you won't condemn it. Okay.
Dude, Jack Posobiec fucking sucks, man. Holy shit. I can't even understand what he's fucking saying.
Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Yes, you are acting like an unhuman.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump
You're acting like
condemn violence in this
You're acting like an unhuman. See, literally, this guy has a book called Unhumans. This guy get on here and start saying about fucking violent rhetoric. Bro, you're literally, that's your wheelhouse. You spent the last 15 years crying about how everyone who disagrees with you is a pedophile. You don't even start. I don't want to hear Jack Posobiec express a single thought on this topic, frankly.
Right, you won't condemn it. Okay, we've all heard.
That's insane.
We've all heard you repeatedly refuse to condemn it.
And we've heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn it too. But for some reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know. All the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right.
So reasonable point from Destiny, but it just gets lost because he can't bring himself to just say violence bad.
You have a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they refute, they say it's not true, they lie. You could see from the bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here. This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year, Corey Kapatore being assassinated
by
last
conservatives
year in a situation. Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams and likes. Go to the casket.
Dude, Jack Posobiec is actually probably, this guy is totally unbearable. Man, all they care about is clicks. Bro, you've peddled the most, like, deranged conspiracy theories for the last 10 years. That's your fucking job. It's just come up with the most insane lie possible and keep saying it. That's all you do.
Go talk to the widow. You know, I don't even know how to discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch with reality.
Yeah, I mean, Anna.
What's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded execution of Charlie Kirk.
Donald Trump turns on Destiny.
I don't think you're in the position to demand anything from anybody.
Shill, that's probably true. Guys, 400 people here, 50 likes on stream, so it's 350 people. Wouldn't mind, please, moving the cursor, thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can do it directly through the Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel. gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which I highlight a message right on TTS. Wait, what are you saying? Worst part? Oh, okay. I don't know why I got distracted by that message. That wasn't even important. That wasn't even an important message. Buy a membership, gift memberships, gift a whole bunch of memberships running without the chat. Buy a super chat, which I highlight message right on TTS. So buy a super sticker, wish your YouTube a gift, we highlight in chat, then I'll subscribe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Queeman, twitter.com/Queeman, reddit.com/Queeman. Also, guys, okay, post like hell, okay, and always be clipping. ABC, very important stuff. Haven't done these reminders in a while. I'm on cam and bothering at the moment, so I'm starting to remind again, okay?
On YouTube, that's how I'm going to take my.
You're
my
not in any
pointers,
position to condemn anybody for anything. You won't condemn a cold-blooded
He's the president
murder.
of the United States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic human-
Thank you for the €5 Q. Huge appreciate. Thank you.
He says
Why
the murder
Donald Trump,
was
the
horrific.
Can't say
Why can't
all
you
of us
say
need
it?
to be less violent.
Why can't you
Democrats
say
have been
it,
saying
Destiny?
for over a decade.
To
Democrats
say
have
the
been saying it for
murder
over a
was
decade.
horrific and
Why
unacceptable.
can't Donald Trump say it?
You can't do
why
it,
does
can
no one
you?
hear any words for Donald Trump?
All right, Anna
What do you have for
Kasparin.
Donald Trump? Nothing exactly.
Anna Kasparin, to me, this is what I'm talking about, that I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick, as I've just seen from Destiny. It's a
The
sick
sick thing is
mindset.
weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for recruitment
what
drives
would
for
you
TPUSA.
expect, though, Destiny?
24
What did you
I
think
expect
the
for somebody whose
assassination
husband
of a
was just
political
killed? I
figure
would
would
say you'd
do?
probably
What did
take-
you think
you
the outcome was going to be? What did you think the
what do you-
outcome was? And
hold
by
on,
the
I'm
way,
sorry, are you asking
really?
me-
Okay, very simple, all right? I didn't, I covered the Erica Kirk statement. The bad parts of that are not just using it to recruit. Obviously, that's going to happen. It's totally reasonable. The bad parts are like the veiled calls to violence, we need to deal with these evildoers and all this shit that she's saying in that speech. Obviously, they're going to use it to recruit. I'm sure, we can try and... Destiny can try and maybe imagine a world where he has a wife who knows his political project and also believes in his political project. Imagine that world, and then imagine a world where he got shot. What would he want that wife to do? Would he want that wife to take a bunch of time off and not spread the political project? Or would he want that wife to shill his political project? I think, knowing Destiny, he would want his death to be used to advance his beliefs. That's what I imagine he would want, based on everything I've heard this guy say.
Your
Pragmatic political outcome, or are you
behavior.
asking
Hold
me
on.
for?
Let me. Hey,
You're
how
asking me a
about
question,
take it
so I
easy
didn't know
on the
it was rhetorical.
Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question
okay,
that Pierce
sorry,
asked me.
you must have been really
Okay,
bullied today, I
my
guess.
behavior,
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. How could you mock that? What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred
this is
in your
lame.
heart.
This is
and at the
lame.
same time, you
It's such a
judge
simple thing. If
others
you're
as
going to
hateful.
weaponize,
Okay, that last bit's lame, where it's like, oh, I can't believe you'd make jokes about it. Anytime someone does this shit, it's lame as fuck. Throw at the end there. Most of that was good.
somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other side, then of course you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
Let me understand. Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others
How does
are
that make
using
any
her grief,
sense?
she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny, let me
TPUSA
explain,
ads to
let
1
me
or 2
explain
days
something
after.
to you. If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech, I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually look.
Yeah, this is like retarded. This is like retarded. Oh, I'm really mad about something happening to me, so I get to do whatever I want. No, actually. No. This is like mega retarded.
Lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that. This is why I've moved away
and when
from
something
identifying as a
you got bullied online. It's so funny. It's so funny that you just said that you don't think about how other people act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on Twitter.
No, the Erica Kirk speech was totally fucking disgusting, and you're a complete degenerate, worthless loser if you defend it. Anyone saying she's right in chat, you're just like a worthless fucking loser. You're like actually just you're either like far right or begging to be raped, basically. So yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you defend that. You're a fucking idiot if you defend that point.
No,
if somebody cares about somebody who's grieving,
I understood
then you tell that
what
person,
the flaws
you
on
tell
the
that
left
person.
And then you're an aspiring rape victim. You're not far right, then you're an aspiring rape victim.
Hey,
No one should listen to an aspiring rape victim. Totally worthless perspective to have.
And their arguments. No, it's not about the way I get treated.
You don't
I get treated like crap from both sides of the political aisle.
And have you do mass recruitment for our political party while everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire, the president
we're talking to a guy who said he'd be okay with his own parents getting killed if they went to that Trump rally where that assassination attempt.
And we're talking to
a
woman who
See, if you break that's Destiny being actually inhuman. When he said, I don't give a fuck. My parents got shot at the Trump rally. That's actually inhuman.
And it did the whole conservative media outlet with Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck and had nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where you're making your money from.
And it was great. I had awesome conversations. I don't regret it at all.
That's great.
I also had a conversation with Jack Posobiec on her take. It was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's what democracy is about. Having an exchange of ideas.
Comes out of his
mouth.
All right, let me bring in.
I don't agree with him on everything, but at least we can have dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way. Anna is completely right. And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him.
Oh my God.
And he would try and have respectful dialogue.
Charlie Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike you, Destiny. Let me bring Andrew Wilson in.
So do you. Unlike Destiny, he doesn't beat up on college students, but
let me bring to debate.
I mean, college might even be a little old. College might even be getting a little old for Destiny sometimes.
With people who hated him. And he would try and have respectful dialogue.
Charlie Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike you, Destiny. Let me bring Andrew Wilson in.
So do you.
Let me bring in Andrew Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You're going on a college tour. You're going on a college tour right now to beat up on college students. What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing.
Okay, but in fairness, Destiny does also do like actual fucking debates. Charlie Kirk very rarely did any actual fucking debate with anyone that had any sense, obviously. You know, I hate Destiny as much as the next guy. They're not remotely the same in terms of the opponents they're willing to take on. That's just not the case.
Right this second is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
No, Charlie did not just do debates with fucking whoever. It's just not the case at all. Obviously, ran from Fuentes for fucking ages.
Exclusively beat up on college.
Can you actually answer? Can you actually answer? Hang on, calm down. I just got one question. I got one question for you. And I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives.
So then why did you say that to your co-host?
So here's the thing. This is what you should be doing every time. That's a fine way to handle that question. But that's what you should be doing every time, right? Political violence bad, but yes, of course this is bad, but like that's what you should be doing every time. Keep the conversation. You don't win by staking this like super firm position that makes you look like a petulant fucking child, being like, no, I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad, and spazzing out when you can actually get past that point very quickly and get on to what you actually want to talk about, the point you actually want to make about the politics.
Trump deserved a bullet. Why'd you tell him that?
October 7th was bad, but it's a totally legitimate way to start a point, to be honest. That's like Plenty of points can be made with October 7th was bad, but and it'd be totally legitimate. Okay, very, very, totally fair way to open a point.
Say until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less violent, there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left. Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go on Parler and say, we heard you. They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, hey, guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing?
No, there are probably even points you can make. I think there's probably... Now, obviously, the worse the event gets, the less angles there are for the but. I thought there's probably the Holocaust was bad, but that could be a legitimate point. I think you could probably find some. I'm trying to think, like, what could you actually, what would work? I'm trying to come up with a point you could follow up with and have it not be terrible. But, like, the immediate place my mind goes to is, like, Nazi science shit, but that's all, like, not actually... like, true, right? Like, it wasn't actually good science. And even then, it's like... even if you accept that it was good science, it's like... it's not really a but, you know, because it was obtained through such terrible means. Yes! The Holocaust was bad, but it doesn't justify what Israel's doing. Great. That works. That's a point. The Holocaust was bad, but it doesn't justify what Israel has done since. Totally legit point to make. Totally legit. Totally reasonable. You can do this. There's plenty of things. Almost any bad event, you can do a but. You can do a but that's totally fair. It makes sense in some context. Okay. I should have just removed you when I saw your name, really, shouldn't I?
The problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing violence constantly when the president of the United States
won't go on TV
and say all of us need to be less violent.
Destiny, so the thing is, why did you say to your co-host that the bullet was for Trump? Why did you say to your co-host that the best place for the bullet was Trump? Why did you say that?
Why did Donald Trump call
it's a whataboutism? Whataboutism. I'm asking you a question.
Whataboutism.
I can't be a whataboutism if it's my question, Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump
answer the question?
Right, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this before I cut Mike?
Because you don't care.
Destiny.
I hate everyone on this panel, but Destiny kinda right on a lot, not all, off this Kirk stuff.
The thing is that the takes on the Kirk stuff are so easy, but Destiny is like... it's like that. I don't know if he's just doing attention seeking or if it is a pure rage cow shit. But, the takes are super easy. It's just Destiny is like planting a stupid, like, flag in the ground. Like, planting himself in a stupid position. It's like, I'm not going to condemn the violence. It's so easy to do, and it costs nothing. It's literally like... it doesn't even undercut your message in any way. There is, like, no reason to not just go, yes, political violence bad, but... it's so fucking easy, and it does not undercut what you're saying. You don't achieve anything by not saying it. It's a stupid... it can be a stupid virtue signal, but it works. So, I mean, just do it.
Hear that, Kirk's
Destiny. Allow Andrew to repeat his question and let him ask the question. Then you answer it, okay, Andrew?
No, I want to hear the other side first.
Let him ask the question.
Donald Trump
let him ask the question, Destiny, and then you answer it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host when asked point blank if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And if you know what else, Destiny, why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth? That you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is.
Okay, this is good from Andrew. This is good from Andrew, because he does walk right up to the line of avowing the violence and then start stepping back or be like, don't Fed post. So let's hear it. Let's see it. Stand on business. You're on Piers Morgan. Stand on business. What does this guy always say? Own your position. Own your position, right? Oh, these pussies haven't owned their fucking position. I'll own anything. I'll own anything. Well, where is it? Where is it? Let's see it. 10 toes down on Piers Morgan. Let's see it. Do you support violence?
What's true?
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening. I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here, like in terms of temperature. The Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And
so did Trump deserve the bullet? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
deserve the bullet
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro. It's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed violence. But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait. When did Donald Trump disavow violence in this country?
Your co-host, you lying sack.
Okay, so he did say the worst outcome was the bullet missing, and then at the very end of that conversation, Pisco presses Destiny and says, do you think it would be justified? Do you think it would be good? Like, he says something like that. He pressed him on the question. And Destiny's like, don't Fed post for me. I'm not Fed posting right now. What is that answer other than yes? What is his answer there other than yes? His position is so obvious and he won't own it. So shameful. So shameful. If you're at that point, say it. Come on. Or even if you're not going to say it, do this on stream, and where's your militia? You know? Like, if this is really... Either own the... Like, you need to... You know, like, there needs to be some ownership of this position. Whether that takes the form of you actually standing on it and stating it explicitly, or you organizing. You either... Like, you're playing some bitch game right now. There's some bitch game being played right now. I can't tell quite which side it's on, whether it's he's attention seeking a bit more, or... I don't know. But he is not... Yeah, he's not 10 toes down in any way.
Shit, if he wanted to kill Trump, the
no
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the bullet missing.
Violence, and
that's what you said, bro.
Yeah. And this is where when you're putting YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States, this is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why I don't continue.
No, Rael, you're spazzing out and your point doesn't make any sense. You've got to say it was sad but not bad. That's not going to convince anyone, and you're going to sound like a fucking retard just like Destiny does here if you do that. I mean, he's totally embarrassing himself in front of, what, already 200k people in 2 hours?
Continue.
But Destiny,
every reaction from this is going to be negative.
It'll be me at the next
Destiny,
time. There'll be
Destiny,
you guys are going to turn around and be like, I can't believe it. What's going on? What's happening here?
Okay, Destiny, if you care so much about...
No, saying violence is bad does not give them victory. No. No, you're just getting baited into a trap where you're losing by doing this.
Political violence in America. Why don't you lead the way yourself without mentioning anybody else? Why don't you, Destiny, right now, just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't turn down the temperature.
You can't do it.
The other side can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it.
Republicans
you don't want to do it.
need accountability for their actions. They need some responsibility for the insanity.
He had it coming,
even though you take none yourself. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec.
We absolutely,
all right, that's enough, Destiny. I'll bring in Jack Posobiec.
Yeah,
Jack.
Okay. Nice. Both sides it.
Jack.
Yeah.
What is your response to this?
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk.
Holy fuck, Jack Pacific fucking sucks, man. Give her the rest already, bro.
Celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut
shit.
up."
Okay. All right, Destiny's making Jack Pacific spaz out. All right. Give him this one. I'll give him this one. I'll give him this one.
And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting piece of shit. Holy fuck!
What a pedantic point.
Are we-
What a
are we
It's not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
The guy's a fucking professional
It's total
liar.
pedantry.
That's
total
fucking
pedantry.
base.
Total
This guy
pedantry.
probably.
I
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah,
and
it's just
and
rant
they'll
here,
claim there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there
He is the
and
Pizzagate
then
guy,
go
yeah.
so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And so these are very common symbols associated, whatever. The point is, right, it should be very, very clear. Are we connected with our humanity or are we not? And some people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good. We've jousted. We've done the back and forth. Destiny and I in the past.
Wrap this up,
we've had
Jack.
shows
Wrap it up,
together
Jack.
where
Come on now.
Before you kind of took this turn. And,
Talking for a few minutes now.
you think
You
there are
not said
people who
anything
can
the whole
just be
time.
willing to stand up for humanity.
You know, Jack, it reminds me a bit of the journey I've gone on, very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked everybody on the pro-Palestinian side for months after the war started, do you condemn what Hamas did, is I think it was very enlightening as to the humanity of the person by how they responded. If their immediate response was, of course I do, the mass murder
level of
of
yap is
civilians on
unhuman.
October the 7th was a horrendous atrocity, then we can move on to an intellectually honest debate. If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate. And similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of what the IDF are doing, frankly, it's my opinion, in Gaza, then the same thing. If you're unequivocally like, it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed.
Norm Finkelstein never condemned Hamas. Norm won. Yeah, Norm's so widely respected. Yeah.
Then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates a modicum of humanity about people who are actually being killed. And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking to his murder. And then when I see even Destiny, who's a very well-followed person on the internet, well-known, when Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just basic humanity. It really makes me despair for where everything is going because it's indicative of the mindset of I can't give an inch to my political opponents, therefore I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong. It's all it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because of that exact mindset. Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge?
Bob Villain Rubio thing? No, I saw Rubio saying they were removing visas from immigrants that celebrate Charlie Kirk's death or something. Did he talk about Bob Villain specifically?
Acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
I think I'm going to buy tickets
of course.
to Bob Villain.
Yeah, just
That it was
about
a
all
conservative
political
shooter?
violence.
That it was a conservative shooter?
I don't
Back
know
in
the
the UK
details on
scene,
that particular
so,
case. If
of
I
course,
did,
yeah,
and
of
it
course
turned out
they
that it was the case, of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You could easily just say, you could lead by example and say, let's all tone down the violence.
You can't lead by
That's
example.
what you
I'm not
want,
the president
right?
of the United States. That's what Democrats have been doing.
Wait,
for
you
the
can't
last
lead by
decade.
example because you're not the president? That's
No,
the
when one
stupidest thing I've
side,
heard
if
today.
one side wants to fight and the other side doesn't, then you're going to fight. One side can't decide not to fight.
I'm surprised. Wait, I didn't even wait. Bob Dylan got his visa revoked. I'm surprised that wasn't done months ago when he was chanting "death, death" to the IDF. I thought they already didn't like they already revoked your visa if you were remotely critical of Israel. I thought that's already how it worked, to be honest.
God,
But the other
that
side
makes no
decided to.
sense. What does that have
What
to
do you mean
with
it makes no
you
sense?
Can,
If
you
some
can
guy
easily,
comes up to you to fight,
can easily
and the
just
other
say it
side
now,
says,
Destiny.
I don't want to. You don't
He's
really have the
UK.
choice there. It's
Lead
that's
by
how fighting
example,
works.
then. Lead by
You
example.
can't lead by
and show
example.
us.
That's called dying.
You can.
Actually,
Right
I
now,
thought-
you
I
do
thought-
right
I
now.
actually
Second
thought-
Amendment right?
Oh, maybe they revoked kneecaps visa. I thought it was both.
Right
I
now.
actually
That's the party
thought.
of
Let me
self-defense.
jump in.
'Cause you're
I-
actually happy
Let me
about
jump
it,
in
Destiny.
here.
Just be
I
honest,
actually,
you're happy
I actually
about it.
felt that Anna hit the nail on the head here, which is she did not need to wait for Donald Trump to comment on this to make her own mind up about what had happened. That is intellectual honesty, right? Yes, it may have been somebody that she totally
Anna's
disagreed
a
with
right-wing
on many
talking
issues.
head. Why- yeah,
the
no, of
simple,
course she can
humane
do
thing
this.
to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald Trump think about it, or what does Joe Biden think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it. It's what do I personally feel about this. It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all. I don't understand why you need to wait for him before your own
I don't
humanity
need to wait
kicks in.
for anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the public statements should be. And the public
Yeah, obviously, you know, your political conduct is going to be informed by the actions of like a president and higher up politicians and stuff like that. I thought a lot of the arguments here are just fucking retarded. Well, it's a human thing. It's a human thing. Well, yeah, it is kind of, and it's also not, you know? You also do have to have sort of a different analysis of like, you know, where you're at politically. Both of them matter. Both of them matter.
statements should
No,
be the
I'm
president
not.
of the United States.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement
I'm
right
asking,
now.
where
Would you
is
think
your
it's great watching a
humanity? You
colleague
can't
getting
just
murdered?
say the murder
Where is
was
your humanity,
wrong.
peers? You guys are playing into this exactly. I think you probably know it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well. You guys play into this. It's insane to me that the president of the United States can't say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm the fuck down. That the president of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly scour Twitter and YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You're not
the
debating free
and
speech.
whether
It's not
well, let
even
me
an equivalent
finish. Let me
conversation,
finish,
Piers.
and whether the
It's insane.
overuse of words like Hitler, Nazis, and fascists was actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new Hitler, Nazis, and fascists. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell that he had used the phrase neo-fascist about Trump, that's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, like following our politics?
So the idea that anyone gives a fuck that you're calling people fascists is like totally fucking absurd. This is like actually fucking absurd. On a panel with Jack Posobiec, who has spread pedophile conspiracy theories about just about every Democrat politician in existence for the last 10 years. What the fuck are we talking about here? What the fuck are you saying? It's like totally absurd. Like, I'm sorry, but Charlie Kirk was a fascist. I think that's a reasonable read of Charlie Kirk's politics. Totally reasonable. You could call him like a theocrat as well, maybe. You could maybe lean towards that if you wanted to. Ethnat, something. I think fascist is totally reasonable. It's a totally legit way of describing him. Like, it just is. Same with Trump. It's very easy. You know, you might pick, you know, like SFO picks, you know, issue with calling Trump a fascist because he doesn't hold a fascist ideology. He simply executes self-interest and it manifests in fascist forms. Oftentimes, but if someone calls Trump a fascist, I think that's totally reasonable. So it's like these are totally reasonable descriptions. If you know anything about his politics, you know it just is. We went through all of Charlie Kirk's fucking statements the other day. The guy was fucking crazy. The guy was totally fucking crazy. And I don't understand why there's even this bullshit game that's played now. Like, most of these people say they are fascists at this point, but they still want to play this bullshit game where it's like, well, you can't call me that. You can't call me that. No, you are. That is what they're asking for. They're asking for fascism. That's what they want.
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama and the Clinton socialists and communists.
When did I say that?
I heard them call... I'm just saying, why are we pretending that some people...
I'm saying, why did Cornel West...
household?
Why would Cornel West walk out on a debate when we're literally talking about the importance of speech? Makes no sense to me.
If speech is important, then the president should exercise it more cautiously.
So should you.
And Republicans have been... You can't stop
You've got millions of followers, and you think it's fine to show them you're mocking a widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to fight you.
Fine.
If Republicans won't turn down the rhetoric... Then who cares? Donald Trump shouldn't have used the rhetoric that led her to being killed. 2 days before she dies,
Donald Trump's
tweeting
out a grieving widow?
This is all. It's just virtue signaling. You guys are making fun. You guys are excited about it. You guys love it.
How is it? How is it that you said this guy can't possibly be a leftist?
It's exciting to you. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
No.
How is it that you said this guy can't be a leftist because he grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up in a white Christian household by your own admission just now, and you're a fucking leftist, Destiny?
I'm 36 years old. This guy was 22, and he lived at home.
What does that have to do with anything?
Life.
What is that?
I haven't seen much of your coverage. What's your opinion of the Groyper nihilist accelerationist descriptions of the dude given current info? What, you mean people claiming that the shooter is a Groyper or some shit? I don't think that's likely, based on what I've seen. I think that's very unlikely based on what I've seen. I think he's probably left-leaning. Most of the Groyper evidence seems to have been, like, basically fake. It's just like a bunch of retarded left-wing, like, Blue Anon Twitter accounts spreading stupid shit.
What does that have to do with anything?
I had 20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months, 1 year, 20 years? Why does it matter how long it took to separate? You just got to say it was impossible, and you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew up with as a 36-year-old?
Didn't say
it. You just made the comparison, dipshit. Of course you did. It's not.
Let me ask you. Look at you.
Let
me jump in. Let me ask Jack. Jack, you know the Kirk family well. You've been around the Kirk family, I think, since this is appalling murder has happened. When you
he's way too white to be a Groyper. Way too white to be a Groyper. He would not be allowed in the mestizo nationalist movement. Okay.
Hear Destiny saying, who cares about the fact that he openly, publicly mocked Erica Kirk, a grieving widow, within literally a day or two of her husband being murdered. How does that make you feel as a friend of the family?
It's very angry, Piers, you know. And here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids are going to watch this video one day.
I can't stand Jack Receiver. God damn it. It's like...
they will see
shut up, man.
all of this, and they will see the reaction. And I just hope that those of us who knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the, you know, TikToks and short videos can also be there for those kids as they
Pizza
grow up.
And Destiny will pay. So true.
Who their dad was.
And kids are going to grow up and watch old episodes of Piers Morgan uncensored. How performative is this? Is everybody here? Did we all get like a script before the show? What?
I watch a lot of old episodes of the JFK.
You make the left look so bad, and you don't even realize it. You are seriously so embarrassing.
Okay, yeah.
God.
You can talk to your best friend.
You really are.
I mean, like, later, you know, have another 30-minute conversation about it, Anna.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will talk to Glenn Beck about it. Oh, is that is that naughty? Is it
naughty? How many conversations have you had with Nick? You had more conversations.
Yeah, oh no, Andrew Wilson piling on with the fucking chicken and waffle shit.
Oh, mean. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not the meanies on Twitter.
Anna,
how many more lawsuits are you going to face from women
no,
allegedly secretly recruited during intimate moments? Destiny, I can't believe anyone takes you seriously.
Destiny, didn't you have Sam Hyde, who's currently calling for a race war on your stream to sit there and talk about how gay Hassan is and how epic and funny he is? Desi, didn't you do that like 2 years ago?
You really? You want to pull out Twitter?
Anna,
So that's right about this. Here, Anna's.
You had more conversation with Nick than anyone.
So mean. Oh, no. Not the meanies on Twitter.
How
Anna,
many
finish
more
your point.
lawsuits are you going to face from women that you allegedly secretly recorded during intimate moments, Destiny? I can't believe anyone takes you seriously.
Are you really?
You're
You want to
disgusting,
pull out Twitter?
you're embarrassing, and you should be shunned from public life with your disgusting treatment of all sorts of people, including young left-wing girls, women
You're turning
that you
more
victimize
blonde right
allegedly.
now in the window. You're
Yeah,
so,
that's who
you're
you
like
are.
2 shades away from being
You're
a Fox News host,
embarrassing.
Anna.
You
Keep
embarrass the
going.
left.
You
You're the
gotta
type of
go get
person
some
who
lip
pushes
filler there.
people
You
away
gotta-
from the
you're
left.
so close,
Make
Anna.
sure you understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You're embarrassing. There's no morality with you. There's no grounding
Absolutely
values.
not.
There's
So
no
good.
principles.
Yeah.
All you want is
She's
attention,
going crazy, man.
attention,
It's
attention,
awesome.
attention. That's all you
Absolutely.
want.
Facts.
Of course.
All you
when
want.
Jen talked
Endless
about
attention.
9/11 was
Say
caused by the
disgusting,
Jews, and you have
provocative
another
garbage.
Another
You
friendly
want
conversation with
attention.
another
Yeah.
She's
mainstream
killing
conservative
him.
commentator about how you're such a leftist, but those people on Twitter are so mean.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means you're coming
No, it's
together
when you sit down and you
you're
agree with
exchanging
everything they have to
ideas
say.
and
Then you agree with
debating
everything they
them.
have to say.
No, I don't agree with everything they have to say.
do.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you do.
I
Of
don't
course
agree
you
with
do. What
everything
do
they
you
have
mean?
to say. But I'm
When
an
you
adult.
sit down and
I
all
can
of your
sit down and
criticisms
have a
are
mature
for the
debate or
left, and you have
conversation.
no disagreements about anything on the right, yeah, that's called
I do
agreement.
have
is usually what we
criticisms for the
call it.
left. I have tons of criticisms for the right. Tons of criticisms. I'm obviously
they don't seem to come out
pro-choice,
much
for
when you're
instance.
talking to
I
your
obviously have a
conservative
huge
friends. Oh, the big
problem
guns, yeah.
with the unending, unmitigated support for Israel, regardless of the genocide they're engaging in. I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans because we have disagreements on politics. You're
I wish
embarrassing.
anybody here had the same energy for the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where it really counts on Twitter and
Dude,
YouTube,
you
which
have
is where the
like
conservatives want you to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the prototype of
TDS, yeah,
TDS.
there it
It's
comes, yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh, the
You
TDS,
wake up every
yes.
morning and you decide
Yes.
you're
Okay, using TDS in 2025 is like giga cringe. This is like fucking lame as shit, man.
behavior is going
True.
to hinge on Trump.
Tell me more
Who
about
are
the
you as
dancing
an individual?
Israelis and Building
God, have
7
a little bit
and
of
how
humanity.
the Jews all knew about 9/11
You're a
and they all
sociopath.
want us to go to war
You're
in the
a
Middle East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
I'm
Let me
just
bring-
saying.
Anna throwing.
Let me bring in Jack
9/11,
again.
not
Let me-
once. Don't make things up, you disgusting prick.
Let me
That's
bring.
Yo! Okay, she brought it back. She brought it back.
Tell me
Well,
more about
who
the
are you as
dancing
an individual?
Israelis and
God,
Building
have a
7
little bit
and
of
how the
humanity.
Jews all knew about 9/11
You're a
and they all want us to go to war
You're
in the Middle
a
East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
I'm
Let
just
me
I
bring
never
in-
once said the
Okay.
Jews
Let me
were
bring in
behind
Jack
9/11.
again.
Not
Let me-
once. Don't make things up, you disgusting prick.
Let me
That's
bring
okay,
in
don't
Jack
worry.
again. Let me bring in Jack again. Jack,
Let's go.
Peter Navarro
Let's
earlier
go.
was talking about directly to Elon Musk.
Let's fucking go.
About, in his view, the urgent need for Elon Musk
You
to
disgusting prick.
detoxify X, given that he owns the platform, and that he blamed X for a lot of the toxicity in public discourse. What do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I think there's obviously a tension between, you know, standing and wanting free dialogue and freedom of speech, but also maintaining a line beyond calling for violence and calling for direct violence or direct criminal activity. So, you know, X in its original Twitter fashion, if you go all the way back to, you know, 2012, 2010, when it was really getting going, they used to pretty much the main things that were banned or would get taken down or get accounts banned were posting of direct addresses of people, so doxing, or posting direct threats to violence. And so I think there needs to be that line set of this is acceptable discourse. This is a back and forth, but the idea that a direct call for violence should be banned, I think that's something that I would support.
Andrew, what do you feel about the social media aspect of all this? Do you think that
Literally,
it is
anytime Jack
culpable to a
Pacific
degree?
starts speaking, my brain switches the fuck off, man. It's like my psyche is just shutting it out automatically. It's just like totally filtering it. I've learned after over 10 years to just completely filter out any opinion given by Jack Pacific.
Agree in the surging toxicity of debate about these things?
Look, social media is a tool. And what social media has done right now is it's allowed us to get a glimpse into a leftist ideology, finally. Yeah. And we get to see the insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, here on the panel right this second, you have a guy who celebrated a multitude of these types of things, including telling his co-host that that basically Trump, the worst place that the assassin could have put the bullet was anywhere other than Trump. I mean, I got the clip of him doing it. And so the thing is like what we've noted now, these people are glad. They're glad. They're happy. They love it. I go on TikTok all the time and I debate with these people. It's very clear that leftists are glad that this happened and that they're going to do everything they can to promote more of it. And we're supposed to base our behavior on what the president does or doesn't say. What, like if Biden?
Well, if it makes more sense to base your behavior on what the president does or doesn't say versus what the people you interact with on TikTok do or don't say, right? Right now he's saying, I base my behavior on the people I interact with on TikTok. No, I would say basing your behavior on what the president does actually makes a lot more sense. So if you're going to attack that line of logic, you probably shouldn't be saying this at the same time. It's probably not.
If I had Biden derangement syndrome, I couldn't still come out and condemn political violence? Of course I could. But the thing is
I'm just curious, anybody have any words for the fact that Charlie Kirk said that Biden should have been executed?
Leftists collectively can't seem to do that, though. I don't know why they can't seem to do that.
No, that was fine when Charlie Kirk said that. Okay,
Anna,
gotcha.
Anna, I want to mention something to you, which I was going to talk to Cornel West
Charlie
about.
Kirk was a moderate. He was more moderate.
Yeah, okay, man. Okay. And this is the cope. This is the cope now. Charlie Kirk was actually a moderate, guys. No, he was a pretty extreme guy. He was like fully bought into Project 2025, but Turning Point USA were listed as an affiliate organization in Project 2025. Heritage Foundation was using him to shill. He was totally bought into the Trump plan. It was like a full steam ahead on the destruction of the Department of Education, destruction of the First Amendment, destruction of naturalized citizenship. Like, that's a birthright citizenship. Like, that's the road he was on. Deployment of the National Guard in all the states and all this shit. Like, that was a full-blown road he was on. American fascism. Like, Peter Thiel and everything. Like, we're going to deregulate everything and just have corporate overlords going super epic and throwing all the working class into a fucking meat grinder. So that is 100% what Charlie Kirk was on. It was not just a moderate. He was not like, I believe in states' rights and small government. I believe in states' rights and small government. I think we should try and balance the budget. That was not Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was, there are gangs of blacks prowling our streets, searching for white people to kill them. Literally, it was something he said at one point. Haiti's full of voodoo. There's demonic energy there. Like, that was Charlie Kirk. That was Charlie Kirk. Biden should be executed. That was Charlie Kirk.
Moderate than a local electrician.
Yeah, nice pivot.
He was more moderate than a local electrician, and you know that. By the way,
he said he wanted to see Biden.
You have debated with the worst, and I've seen you do it. You know,
Biden executed. Okay, give me a fucking break.
No, that's not what he said.
I don't care about any of this
stuff. That's not what he said. He said if you.
Yeah, I wish Haiti had like magic and voodoo and shit. It would be like the sad reality is it's just a disgusting shithole where everyone's starving to death. I wish I had voodoo and magic. That'd be fucking awesome. People might want to go there. There was some other message I saw in chat a second ago. Oh, yeah, wait. He said, he also said that America should be treating Mexico like Israel treats Gaza, basically.
This is performative
criminality in criminal laws.
This is performative outrage.
Then that will be the case.
All right, I want to ask Anna.
There's not what's performative. What's performative?
Oh, wait, so I say, oh well, I think that guy was a criminal. Therefore, the execution is okay. Somehow that makes everything fine with no investigation, no criminal charges.
You say all the time
that
you're.
Yeah. He wasn't like straight up bomb them, but he was like, our border should be considered the same. Like these are like terrorist groups. I'm starting like terrorist groups, cartels of terrorist groups coming over. There's an invasion happening. If Gazans invade Israel, you know what Israel does. That's why I like Israel. Like that was what he was saying. It was like everything up to bomb them, basically.
Your political opponent should be in jail and highest extent of the law. You say it all the time. What are you talking about?
Sorry, no, that's Donald
saying
Trump.
the word performative doesn't mean anything.
The National Guard right now.
Oh, it's just performative.
Investigations into every
that's just
performative.
I want to bring Anna back in.
I
want to bring Anna back in.
Performative.
Okay, I want to bring Anna back in because the president-elect of the Oxford Union, probably the most premier.
I see you cocked out with that mic. What do you mean I cocked out with the mic? I got an SM7B. Is that what you mean? Is that cocking out? I need to get a preamp. I ordered a cloud lifter. because the gain, obviously the volume's super low on it. I've had to just add a bunch of gain on my OBS.
Debating society in the world. I've done it several times myself. George Aberonye reportedly posted several, he did post several comments in a WhatsApp group appearing to celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. One said, Charlie Kirk got shot. Let's fucking go. Another one was, I think, LOL. This guy is going to be the president of the Oxford Union Debating Society, and yet he is celebrating the murder of somebody he literally...
What do you mean, is it plug and play? Is plug and play not a USB thing? It's not a USB mic. It's a XLR.
...himself in the Oxford Union in May. I found that terrifying. I mean, he shouldn't still be in the job, because how can you possibly be the head of a debating society when you think the way to debate with people is murder them if they don't agree with you? But again, the gleeful celebration. This is supposedly one of the brightest students in Britain. You know, president of the new Oxford Union Debating Society.
Oh my God, this shit.
He can't be that bright if he's not considering what a political assassination could potentially...
Dude, I love how now they all, it's like immediate, it's like this guy said something kind of, you know, disrespectful, and he's black. So it's immediately just like, oh yeah, he probably doesn't even deserve to be in the school. He's probably too stupid to even be there. It's like... Yeah? Is that what we think? Is that... We just think that because of what he said? Is that just because of the statement? Yeah, just because of the statement, I'm sure, right?
Potentially lead to. Because where does this end? And that's like one of my biggest issues with a portion of the left. Their inability to see past the current moment, right? You're celebrating it, but what's the long-term goal here? Is the long-term goal to just have to descend to an environment of endless political assassinations and violence? And if we're going to have the left go up against
like
the right
in now,
in
do
terms
they?
of
Thugs
violence,
like that into Oxford.
in terms of bloodshed,
Just
in
say the
terms
N-word,
of shootings, I don't know. I would just venture to say that the right is probably going to do a better job in, you know, taking people out than the left is. This is just a really disgusting, sick ideology, and we need to move away from it. And again, I want to emphasize your personal behavior, the way you choose to behave and respond to things on a day-to-day basis has an impact. Okay, be the change you want to see in the world. So when you have a huge audience, and that audience of young people who look up to you, who feel inspired by you, hear you essentially minimize political violence, or even make excuses for it, or deflect by blaming Trump for everything, well, you're essentially indoctrinating people to support and normalize political violence. We can't be doing that. I don't care how people behave on the right. That's not going to have an impact on how I personally choose to behave. I want to be better than that.
Has Candace Owens just uploaded a video blaming Israel for Charlie Kirk's death? Is that what I'm saying right now?
I want to preach dialogue, okay? Debate, have these conversations. And, you know, Charlie Kirk, the last debate he and I had, you know, Destiny would like you to believe that I agree with the right on everything. I don't agree with the right on everything. We debated about whether or not you have to have children in order to care about the future of this country. So we have a debate, and it's fine.
Jay's killed her gay best friend. It's fucking over. It's fucking over. Candace on a warpath.
He has a right to his opinions. I have the right to mine. If you care about democracy, the democratic process is reliant on having these types of conversations and reliant on not resorting to violence because you're unable to articulate your arguments effectively against the other side. That's what I see this assassination as. Again, it was cowardice. It was disgusting. It was cold-blooded murder, and no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Very well said. I just want to thank all the panel for joining me. Jack, I want to say to you, I can tell by your demeanour today how profoundly impacted you've been by your friend's murder. God. And I'm just very sorry to you.
Like, Desi is behaving like a fucking child on this panel, but if he's going to do... anytime he's just taking snide jabs at Jack Pacific, it's very easy to win me on those. Okay, it's actually quite easy to win me on those.
As his friend... Shut up, Cooper. That it's...
yeah, unfortunately, Andrew Wilson also had a good response there. That's all.
By your demeanour today, how profoundly impacted you've been by your friend's murder. God. And I'm just very sorry to you as his friend.
Shut up, Coomer.
That you've had to endure what must have been a hellish week. And
Actual ghouls.
I'd like to
Unreal.
send my very best to the family who I know you talked to. And I'm sorry for some of the things you've had to hear from Destiny in this debate. But thank you for coming on despite what
Okay,
you've been
they
going
make
through,
it like they give Destiny points when they act gay about it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sorry you've had to hear this from him. I'm sorry you've had to hear this stuff. Like, you just gave him an easy point. Like, you just fed. You just fed.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Piers. I'll convey that to them.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the panel. Thank you.
Wow.
Piers Morgan.
Wow. Powerful stuff. Really powerful stuff there. Destiny's banning all mention of this appearance in his chat at the moment. Let's pull this up. I thought they'd give me at least one person, so he wasn't expecting to do a 1v4, basically. Was it 1v4? It was really 1v4. Fucking Anna Kasparian, Jack Pasibic, Andrew Wilson, fucking Piers. Sleeps and he sleeps and he sleeps and he sleeps and he's seething. He's seething. He's mad as hell. This guy's mad as hell. This guy's mad as hell. I thought this guy was used to 1v4s. This guy thrives in these environments, no? I thought he did fine. He did better there than he would have done with, like, Brian Tyler Cohen with him or something. Like, he did better on his own. Because at least he's not dragging someone else's optics down with him. You know? If you're going to go on and say that shit, do it alone. Don't fucking drag someone else into it with you. Yeah, exactly. What happened to the guy 1v8ing Brittany Venti and Warski and Asmongold and JF and, you know, whoever the fuck else is in that call? What happened to that guy? What you're watching? Adban. I don't know. What is that? NK stop me subscribe. I don't know what that is. Adban Piers. Mega Nuke Piers. Mega Nuke Piers. GG Linkor. Permban. Sorcerer IP ban. Sorcerer IP ban. Yeah, is that the... That's not the one that hangs around here, is it? That's not the one that I see in chat sometimes. 3 days. Mega Nuke 3 days. Voice. Okay. Okay. No, as in no one... Mega Nuke 3 days voice is like... anyone within like the last 3 days or something who said the word voice is banned, I believe. Or is it... No. It's... everyone who said the word voice within a recent period of time is banned for 3 days. That's what it is. Everyone who recently said the word voice is banned for 3 days. So they were probably, I don't know, mocking his voice or something. And you got annoyed by it. I don't know. It might have been real voice crack. I don't know. I get that. Okay.